Welcome to this new video. It's 11 p.m. and I just need to talk about something because I've been thinking about it all week basically. Spending time on the internet has always been one of my biggest hobbies. Honestly, it kind of ruined my life. Recently, I've been experiencing a huge wave of nostalgia for the years 2016, 2017 on the internet. Of course, everything wasn't amazing on the internet back then. I mean, it's the internet. Most of the content you can find in here is trash. I mean, just look at my channel. But I guess what I want to say in this video is we need to bring back the dab. Now, maybe my statement has something to do with the fact that in 2016 I was a dumb teenager with like one brain cell. But I mean, back then there was so much advanced culture and just things you did with your friends in real life at school that came from the internet, and you would do it every day. Just to name a few from the top of my head, there was the mannequin challenge, the sausage challenge, the bottle flip, quoting iconic vines 50 times a day, flossing, the milli rod, the whip and nay nay, and most iconic of all, the dab. And while some of them have aged better than others, I think we can all agree on the fact that these were the times when the average IQ was the highest. We learned so much about ourselves from the internet during that time. It was a time when everybody would unite and whip and nay nay. It was a time when we didn't need to try and be funny. All we had to do was say these nuts a couple times to become the most respected kid in school. I think it was a fun time, okay? So my question is, why is something like dabbing seen as cringe now? And can we bring back dabbing and stop stigmatizing it for the sake of general happiness? Because yes, dabbing increases happiness. I will talk about that more in depth in a second, but first, here's a word from our sponsor. This week's video is sponsored by this YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna start this video by proving to you that hitting the dab is a natural human response in certain social situations. Dabbing is a way to celebrate our achievements in a social setting, which means we can do it in front of our loved ones or with them together. It really is a powerful social movement if you really think about it, because just like the Macarena, it's something we usually do together. It's an easy dance move everyone can do, and it can help you feel more accepted in a group. The dab brings everyone together. The rich dab with the poor, the black dab with the white. And in fact, studies show that when we dance together with the same dance moves, we feel a stronger bond with the other person emotionally. So when everyone decides to hit the dab together, the social injustices that exist just disappear for a few seconds. And I think that's beautiful. This random sociology essay defines collective identity as an individual's cognitive, moral, and emotional connection with a broader community, category, practice, or institution. The collective identity of a group are often expressed within the group's cultures and traditions. The identity of the group becomes a part of the person's individual identity. So the idea is, by participating in a social activity, a person can develop a sense of belonging and identity that goes beyond the person. So that's why social identity in a human's life is very important. And so initially, dabbing is also a manifestation of collective identity. Back then in 2017, dabbing was so important for people who lacked social skills to adapt and make friends. All we had to do was hit the dab during a group picture, and then instantly everyone would be feeling a lot closer to each other. So that's why I think that dabbing is a beautiful thing, and it's about time we normalize dabbing in 2022. We've been stigmatizing it for long enough, and the funny thing is, it's actually a normal psychological response to excitement. So just like when we smile, dabbing is the result of being happy or excited. In that situation, endorphins are produced in our brain, and neuronal signals are transmitted to the arm muscles and the neck, which produces a dab. And the best part is, this is the start of a positive feedback loop of happiness. When our dabbing muscles contract, they fire a signal back to the brain, which is stimulating our reward system and further increasing our level of endorphins. So in short, when the brain feels happy, we dab, and when we dab, the brain feels even happier. This famous example of Squidward dabbing, like everyone knows this video, it's very flawless, it's very seamless, it's like, it truly is like a natural human gesture, like it was meant to be.
Bill, can you do the dab real quick?
Oh my god!
Damn, Bill!
See, it's a very natural, a flawless movement, and it makes everyone happy, as you can see in this video. Like, it's an amazing victory move, and it really needs to come back because it was amazing.
You're trying to build, and then you die.
So what exactly is the dab? What is its message and what's the meaning? Well, I think the dab has a message of rebellion and independence. While a lot of dance moves have us face the viewer of our performance, dabbing makes us look away. So looking away is a very interesting gesture. It's almost like saying, I don't want to listen to what you have to say. And so instead of listening to you, I'm gonna face away and like put my arms in the air. And so it's a secret message of rebellion against the authority figures. It's a rally call. Did you know that dabbing was illegal in Saudi Arabia? And so in 2017, this guy, who is like a singer, hit the dab and he got arrested. And so it's now political. A few notable variations of the dab. Some are more iconic than others. First, in E tier, we've got the unnecessarily low dab. It kind of does the job, but it's not very pleasant to watch. It requires a lot of training beforehand, and it's not very convenient. It also looks kind of dangerous, so I would not recommend. Then in D tier, we've got the multiple dabs. Now, I may sound crazy to you, but I'm one of those people who thinks that one dab is the perfect dose. So I must admit that this one has a nice continuation, a nice flow, but it's just not super original. Then in C tier we have the one hand dab. It's nice and easy, very convenient. You could be holding the groceries in one hand and still be able to hit the dab. So I think it's an absolute classic. Then in B tier we have the world's tiniest dab.
Really cool version of mine. It's called the world's tiniest dab. If you don't see it, let me get it in front. Dab.
In A tier, we have the roll the arms and dab movement. Now, this one's a classic. I believe it was created for you to confuse your opponent during the dance battle. Like, oh, what's he gonna do? Bam! It's a truly effective weapon and I recommend. Now in S tier, we have the dabbing when you sneeze. This is the truly perfect timeless dab. This technique has been around before the peak of dabbing, and I can guarantee you that it will last. It's kind of like an accidental dab, but it's a good accident. It has become a very natural motion when we sneeze, and so it's like a pleasant surprise when you realize what you just did, and the people around you usually go like, wow. Unfortunately, as the years passed, dabbing was slowly associated with cringe, and I think that's a true shame. Now the people who dab on a daily basis, and especially the boomers, are mocked and stigmatized by the younger generations. And it's not only the dab, basically every online trend that is over a month old is now considered cringe. Just look at the TikTok sounds. They are only popular and quotable for about 2 weeks until a new one starts trending. And after that time limit, unfortunately, you're not funny anymore. But I think it's not fair. It's like people are being stigmatized. Like, this is a real important issue and everyone should be talking about this. In this society, it seems like people's relevance is purely based on the fact that they are caught up with the trends. And so it's like a new social divide. And in one hand, there's the people who are older and don't really know what the new trends are and who still whip and nay. And on the other hand, there's the people who are always online and who always know the latest memes, and they are stigmatizing the other group. And I think it's not okay. And some people really tend to forget that they used to dab too. Everyone felt great about dabbing back in the day. And so why don't we let people who want to dab or do other older internet dances express themselves? It should be okay as long as they're happy and not harming anyone. Until we solve this issue, there's actually a new tactic that has been developed by the people who still dab. And many people don't know this, but actually in today's society, being cringe is a new secret weapon. You can actually use people's criticism towards the old internet dances to your advantage, and it's actually very clever and effective. So like, here's the deal: if people are bothering you or you want to scare them off, performing a cringe dance like the whip and nay or the dabbing or the flossing or anything like a Fortnite dance. Performing that kind of dance is proven to assert dominance within a 10-mile radius, kind of like the T-pose. Because like, think about it, you can control other people's emotions with the cringe. You can make them feel incredible mental pain and they will want to look away or even flee the scene. It's a real weapon. So yeah, it really works to your advantage, and I think you can try this easily at home. Just do it like there's someone with you and you dab and you see their reaction. It's gonna be cringe. So you can make anyone cringe, and I think that's super powerful nowadays, to kind of have that control when you want to. That's amazing. So in conclusion, dabbing is fun.